Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and today we're going to give making a kill team tier list a try. I've actually never done this before, bizarrely, but I know it's something that we often see threads for on Reddit or Facebook, etc. And I thought, hey, I don't think I've ever made a tier list myself, listing out every single faction before. Let's do it. I was originally going to make the tier list and then let you guys, and then just kind of say why I put things where, but I thought instead, let's give you guys the full Glass Half Dead rundown of me trying to figure out what goes where. So I'm making this on the fly. Hopefully I'm going to edit out anything where I can't figure out what goes where. And then you can tell me where I've gone wrong and what would your tier lists be. However, before we get to that, I did just want to say quick hello to everybody. If you're new, if you watched for a long time, hello. If you are a supporter, a second hello. That's right, if you're a Patreon supporter, you get double hello. Alright, let's do this. Okay, and behind me now we can see the tier list creator. This is a site called tiermaker.com. You can make whatever, you can rank anything you want. Somebody made this kill team one, where it's pretty simple. We see all of this here. We can just drag and click and put it anywhere we want. And that's how it works. Just a quick proviso. I am ranking everything here on the Annihilation kill team pack. I am going to do a second list regarding the kill hold missions, you know, for Slaughter Zone, LVO, LGT, how they're all going to be. But that's going to be different. What's S tier? What's the absolute top tier? Considering my merch, I kind of have to put Tau up there, don't I? However, are they? This is going to take ages to do. I'm going to put them at S tier, not S+. S to begin with. It's kind of weird that that's the Tau, but they've put a Crute on it. Oh, okay, that's the Crute. Right, okay, that's why. No, okay, let's put Tau S+. Tau S+. I also think Nids. Nids super strong. You know what? I'm going to put IG up there too. I genuinely think all of them. Okay, hold on. Right. So I'm going to put them all at S tier. S+ is a special place in my mind. I don't think we can go there just yet. Azayani as well. Okay. Those are my top tiers. Those are the top tier teams. If you don't have an answer for those 4 teams, you don't have a list, baby. Or you do have a list, but your meta doesn't include those 4 teams. In which case, can I be in your meta, please? Jesus. Right, next up, Custodes, bottom tier. That's a nice easy one, we'll get that in there quickly. Again, don't forget, I'm talking specifically about the Annihilation pack. Nothing else. I feel that, no, that's something I want to talk about in another video, but I feel that Custodes aren't a good team, as in, they're an NPE, negative play experience. I don't think they should be good, but we can get into that later. Who's up next? Who's next in the queue? Admech. I do like some Admech. However, Demons are going to put A tier. I think Demons are solid, really solid team. They might even be S. Okay, I'm going to put Demons A because I haven't played against them enough to really know just how good they are. I think Death Guard belong there as well. Death Guard, obviously really solid team. They have some of the best survivability in the game and the ability to swarm as a horde. Really strong. People are shit talking them at the moment, but you know what? I think DG really good, really strong. They didn't get as much with elites as others have, but yeah, they're good. Drakari. No, let's go to the Deathwatch. Go C tier. That's such a shame because Deathwatch are almost like the what's the word? The exemplars of kill team. You know, if it wasn't for, am I saying Death Guard? Deathwatch. The Deathwatch are the exemplars of kill team. They are like, their box set is literally called Kill Team. You get a Deathwatch kill team. Oh, so why are they C tier? They're C tier because they just can't bring the numbers to bear. And whilst they do have really nice weapons, so in my mind they'd probably be B tier, but I'm not seeing anybody doing well with them. And this is the real... They're easy to counter. Most lists... Okay, so every list going into a tournament, you know at some point you're going to face an elite team. And Deathwatch are an elite team. They're going to have max 7 models at 100 points. You might get 8. I think you can fit 9 at 125. But 6 models, realistically, at 100 points. And that's not enough. They don't have death deny, so they can't stop the deaths. They are hard countered by a lot of other factions. In and of themselves, they're pretty good. Like, they do a lot of stuff. But easy to counter. So they have to be... They might even be D tier. Oh, man. I'll keep them at C. I'll put them in D. Okay, I'll put them in D. And I might rethink them later. Like, once I do my final check of everything. Who's up? I can't even see it. Oh, Obsidian Star Striders. I'll put them at D. I've played against them once and they beat me. I'll put them at C. They could be C. The reason I put them at C is because they have technically won, you know, a Nova pod. I'd be a fool to put them in D after that. However, they get a lot of crap online. To my mind, they do have what they need. They effectively have 6 specialists, which is nuts. They're not a bad team. I kind of said that sentence as if I was about to say more, but I'm not. I just don't think they're a bad team. Okay. I think they got a lot of crap online. Crew are going to be D. Crew to D because of their leadership. That's the only reason. If they had higher leadership or a way to get higher leadership, they'd go up the ranks. And I think they'd actually be very... Yeah. I mean, they would need a counter in the same way that any Horde list needs a counter, right? As it is, you basically don't need a counter for Kroot because you just shoot them till they break. That's kind of it. Necrons, they're an A tier. They might even be super S. They might even be S tier. That's a tough one. I'll keep them at A, just because we haven't really seen many people do that well with them. I came joint first / second, depending on how BCP wants to do things that day. Against, the only one that I drew with was Tau. Until I see others kind of... I think everyone agrees that Necrons are a strong team, but I'm not seeing them actually winning anything much. So I'll keep them at A. You know what? I'll keep them at A for now. Because they're at A... Oh, okay, so let's talk about Orcs. I don't think Orcs are good. Other people have proven me very wrong. So, we're going to rejig this list. These 4 are the S+. These are your boys, okay? You want to know how to play this game, you take them. Or, what I mean to say is, don't learn to play the game with them because everything else will seem like super difficult. Those are the guys that you need to know how to beat. If you could beat those 4 lists, you're golden. In the Annihilation pack. When it comes to kill hold, they all drop down. Therefore, I'm going to put Orcs at S. Because I don't think Orcs are as good as those factions. Straight up. 100%. I don't think Orcs can rock with them. Personally, I'd probably put Orcs at A or B. You know what? This is my tier list. Orcs are going to go A. These guys are moving up to S. Let's sort this out. I don't think Orcs should be as good as they are. I can't win with Orcs is what I'm saying, guys. Grey Knights are a solid B tier. The reason they're not higher is because they don't have the numbers. The reason they're not lower is because if you get the rolls, you wipe teams. It's insane. Like, you can be untouchable. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And you are a hard counter for certain lists. Bizarrely, you are a hard counter for some lists that I'm about to put above them in the tier ranking. But there we go. Thousand Suns, I'm going to put... I think Thousand Suns are just straight up an improvement over Grey Knights. They have the Psychic, and they have the cheap bodies. Thousand Suns, strong. They're also a flexible list. You can, if you want, run pure numbers. just run a horde of Zangors. That would be crazy. I realise that. You wouldn't do that, but you can. Grey Knights just don't have the option. But with Thousand Suns, you have the option, and you could choose to ignore it at the same time. You can run all elites, and you know what? All his dust is crazy. 2-up saves. Their Marines are practically Terminators for 20 points. Really good. Really good. Well, sorry, 16 points, but if you give them a special weapon, 20 points. Okay, Harlequins. I'm searching around down the bottom here to see who's left. Let's talk Genestealer Cults. Genestealer Cults have won a Nova pod, haven't? No, they came second, I think. So I probably can't put them D tier. I'm going to put them C. Genestealer Cults. Oh, sorry. Obviously, also at in SoCal on the arena day. Yeah. So I'm mainly thinking open board. If I'm honest, I'm not really thinking arena because again, arena changes all of these. And like if this was arena, I'd put orcs right at the top. But I'm definitely thinking open board. I probably should have clarified that at the beginning. Because of that, Genestealer Cults, they don't have it. They don't have threat at range. They do have good guns, but they don't have the ballistic skill to back it up, or the numbers with those good guns to back it up, like the orcs can bring in their shooting lists. So, because of that, they're a C tier. They do have some really good close combat stuff, no doubt, but you know, they're T3 5-up armor saves across the board. Everybody has answers for that. Almost every faction could bring flamers. They're not scary. I think very rarely have I had a Genestealer Cults player set up across from me, and I've thought, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Or sometimes I do, just because they can put a lot of models on the board, but then after turn 1, I'm like, oh, I killed half their team. Cool. So they're not, yeah. I'd say they stay there. They stay there. This is Gellerpox. So Gellerpox, nobody plays them, which is an issue. But the one person that does play them, and is vocal about it, Gellerpox Chris, plays them really well. Okay, so you know what? I don't have a feel for Gellerpox, even though I did play them at a tournament. So I'm actually gonna leave them off. Am I? So Gellerpox, I know the theory behind why they're good. I'm gonna put them C tier right there alongside their Star Striders. The theory, I totally get it, but when I played them, I didn't do very well. Now, admittedly, I had literally never played them before. I think they're very dicey. If you hit their guys, they just melt. Because like all of their models that do things are T2 no save, you know? So if you hit them, they're dead. Even if you're like just Lasgun Imperial Guard. I'm going to keep them at C because I think they have some pretty hard counters and easily countered. But obviously against elite teams, they're tough to take down because they will have a lot of numbers on you. Oof. I'm going to keep them at C. I'll keep them at C. I'm putting off doing sisters. You know it. Until the end because I haven't played them. Admech. We need to place Admech. I've only got one faction on B. I think Admech might be on B. Maybe that, yeah. Okay, so my issue with Admech is they can't bring the numbers to bear that they really need to. And they're a total jack of all trades. They can do a bit of everything. And they can do all of those things pretty well. I think they suffer in that they're, again, T3. But they do get a better save than Genestealer Cults, which is why they're above the Genestealer Cults. They do have some really solid shooting, though. You know what? They've got some really good models. The Priests, I love the Priests. Luckily, I never knew anyone when I was a child, I guess. They obviously plasma spam. They do it brilliantly. I think that, you know, seeing a Plasma guy and an Omnispecs guy, like 2 Plasmas, 2 Omnispecs in every list, you can't really go wrong with that. It's a really strong counter against elite teams. And then if you're up against Hordes, you can run Infiltrators or the Fulgurite Priests, the Shooty Priests. You know what? I'm going to put them A. I'm going to put them A. I think... however, looking at everything else on A, maybe not. Are AdMech a gatekeeper list? Damn. AdMech has some... If AdMech had an unlimited roster, they could probably beat every faction. That's what I think. I'll put them on A tier just because of that. Even though I haven't really seen them do brilliantly in tournaments, I think they totally can. Yeah, I think they've got the skills to pay the bills, if you will. I can imagine that every time I place somebody somewhere, somebody on the other side of the screen is like, "Oh, Glass, you fucking idiot. What you doing, mate? Fuck. Kill yourself." I'm trying. Drukhari. No, I'll place Drukhari. Not yet. Heretic Astartes, I think a B. They've got some really interesting tools, and obviously they just got a buff from the annual. But I don't think they're a huge challenge for people. I think most people will have an answer for Heretic Astartes on their list without having to build for Heretic Astartes. You know, all of the guys at the top here at S+ tier, you can have a counter for those lists, and your counter might work. But that counter, and that's why they're a gatekeeper list, you have to deliberately build to counter them. But most of the other teams, whilst you are building a list to counter the top 4, your list will suddenly also beat X or Y whilst you built it to beat one of the top 4. That's how I kind of view it. Heretic Astartes is definitely in there. Yeah, they can culture spam. Yeah, they can bring a few tough units with the Marines. They are actually, I will say, they are one of the factions that can legitimately run a Terminator, because they have a cheap Terminator. So especially at 125, you might want to, you know, maybe they bump up a tier. But at 100, I don't think they're that much of a threat, to be honest. I don't think we'll be seeing them really winning much. You know, assuming a big tournament, competent players, etc. Harlequins. Hold on. There are 2 chaos symbols here. One of them must not be chaos. They both look like chaos. One's a Chaos Marine, the other's a Chaos Marine. Well, I don't know what that means. I just think they're both Chaos. Is there another Oh, Servants of the Abyss. Right, okay. So, sorry, Heretic Astartes a B. There you go. Sexy Boys, Blackstone Fortress. Servants of the Abyss. So, they just had the nerf from the annual, where they've had limited numbers put on Negavolts. I don't think they're bad. No, I do. Yeah, I do. They're C tier. They're C tier. The reason they're C tier is because of the open board. If they were in Arena, they'd be S. They'd be AS. They'd be A+. They'd be AS or S+. But in Open, even though they can bring a Psychic guy, they don't have the shooting to do anything long distance. They're basically a close combat faction at that point. Negavolts are scary. Yes, Beastmen are scary, yes, but that's it. So, they're C tier. God, maybe they're D. No, I think the psychic ability alone puts them on C. I'm just looking at it. But you know what? Deathwatch could probably take them out. The psychic is the only thing there. But you know what? Even with the psychic phase, the Deathwatch would be able to mow the rest of their guys down, because they don't have the saves to deal with a frag cannon or an Infernus heavy bolter. Gosh, maybe they're D tier. I'm gonna slide them down to D, and I'll revisit them maybe. Right, Harlequins. No, Adeptus Astartes next. I naturally want to put them at B. They have a lot of options. They can answer things. I'm going to put them A. I don't think... They're definitely not a top 4. Death Denied being nerfed is a huge issue for them. Salamanders is great, But don't forget that with Salamanders, you're only re-rolling 1s and 2s. You're not re-rolling all misses, even if because you're re-rolling the roll before modifiers are applied. So if they're long range behind cover, so taking your 3 up to a 4, then a 5 up, you still technically hit before the modifiers applied for the reroll. So you're only rerolling 1s and 2s. Tough. They might even be B tier. Actually, I'm gonna put them B tier. Yeah, I don't think Adepts Astartes are that super duper. I don't know. I really wish there was a B plus on that list because I feel they are stronger than Heretic Astartes and Grey Knights. You know what? I've put them at B. That's where they are. Let's talk Sisters. I haven't played against Sisters. I haven't played as Sisters. This is purely theoretical. I think they're a C tier list. I don't think they can bring the sexiest weapons to bear. It's possible that they will be a hard counter for certain lists. I haven't looked into them enough. I am going to do a faction rundown of them, but I haven't done that fully for myself yet. I don't think they're going to be that difficult. Obviously, the 3-up save is always good, but they're T3, so if you get through the armor, if you're bringing AP weapons, they're just melting. So actually, a really good counter for them would be the AdMech with the arc rifle. Arc rifle spam, you'll melt them. Equally, I think Thousand Suns are going to be a really strong counter for Sisters there. I also think that the fact that, is it the Sister Repentia? Or just Repentant? Yeah, I can't remember the name. Not the Commander one. The Flagellants. Not the Flagellants. The guys with the big Redeemer type chainswords. Being limited to 1 is, I'm sure, a typo. But it's a crippling typo. So I think they're probably, I think C tier. I would not be afraid of facing Sisters in the Annihilation pack at 100 points. There you go. Harlequins, they've just got a whole load of buffs thanks to the annual, their tactics. I've never felt Harlequins were bad. To me, it's between an A and a B tier. Because honestly, I think all of the S tier guys counter them pretty well. And the S plus don't take much of an issue. Obviously, Harlequins can beat all of these teams. Like, Harlequins, pretty good. A tier? Okay, so I think a lot of people look at Harlequins and they say, hey, you know, all you do is charge from out of line of sight at 18 inches and you're in. You win. Game, job done. But they're a little bit swingy. No, A tier. They're A tier. When they work really well. And even though Grey Knights are on the B tier below them, Grey Knights are a hard counter for them, thanks to the double psychic. Like, there's almost nothing Harlequins can do. But Harlequins are generally better at everything else surrounding the game. So they can't beat Grey Knights, even though Grey Knights are below them, but they can beat other factions having to rely less on good dice. Even though they still do rely on good dice, obviously. Finally, Drukhari. So I am currently building a Drukhari roster. I've played Drukhari in the past, but I haven't played them. Oh no, I played them when Elites came out. I haven't played them since the annual came out. Let's say that. I honestly think... Okay, let's just place it. A tier. Yeah. I think Drukhari are solidly A tier. Maybe S. They can do so much. Okay. Boom. I think Drukhari are S tier. The issue with Drukhari and why we don't see them winning much, I mean, obviously they came second SoCal on the Arena Day, but the issue is that I don't think people have fully gotten to grips with how to build a Drukhari roster. I think once people figure that out, they can do a lot of stuff. I think that when we move to kill hold, they actually drop down a tier. But in Annihilation, they are super strong. They have the options to deal with just about anything. But the problem with them is you might not have those options, those tools on your roster because you decided to build a rack roster and all you can do is rack spam. So when you want to be taking Cabalites, bringing that Dark Lance and blaster pistols to bear, you can't. And that neuters you completely. So yeah, I think S tier Drukhari. However, you might get a really bad matchup because you don't have what you need on your roster, and then they're crap. There you go. Okay, everybody, that is my tier list finished. Take a look. What do you think? Where would you place these? Do you disagree with my top 4? Tau, Tyranids, Imperial Guard, and Asuryani? For anybody out there, just to make sure, do you understand why Asuryani is so good? I realise maybe for new players it might be a bit confusing. You see their shuriken catapults and they look crap. You're like, oh, but they're only 9-inch range, that sucks, or something. Well, they're 12, aren't they? Yeah. Do you understand this tier list? Are there any that you're confused by? Are there any you think I've just full on made a mistake? And like, Andy, that clearly doesn't go there. What? Yeah, let me know. I'm curious about. You know what? Everyone has a different tier list. Like I remember in my Discord, people were posting their tier list. Nobody came up with the same one. Anyway, I am going to redo this again for a kill hold style pack because I think it completely changes the tier list. And the reason I've done this now is because I've started to think about a tier list in regards to how I should build my own pack and how this tier list will look different from the kill hold tier list. For example, Custodians go straight to S+. And I think that's a really bad thing. That's what got me thinking. Tier lists, they're kind of fun to make. You know, let me know what you think about my tier list. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. A goodbye to you, sirs, and a double goodbye to my Patreons, my supporters. Genuinely helps and means a lot to me. Okay, everybody, have a good day.